Hello, my name is Hannah Hemberger, and this is my EDL 854 Module 12 case study, The Budget Debacle. A summary for this case study is that Briardale Elementary is a school in the middle of a diverse community that works closely with its community members and is very driven in that aspect. One of the main focuses of the school district is basic skills and instruction and raising funds by the school foundation to purchase supplies and programs. Mr. Santos, the school principal, is excited to have Mr. Barely lead the foundation this year as he is very motivated and competitive. Mr. Barely had the idea to have a raffle for cash event, and Mr. Santos was totally on board with it. When it came time for the raffle, Mr. Barely was arrested for a misdemeanor for his role in the fundraiser, and the whole debacle was put on the front page of the paper. The legal and ethical issues associated with this case study include Briardale Elementary violated state and local laws/policies regarding fundraising and raffle tickets in a school organization. According to the Kansas Department of Revenue, the school needs to apply for a raffle license if the gross profits are going to exceed $25,000. This case study didn't exactly specify the state the school is in, so I looked up the law specifically for Kansas since that's where I currently teach. Mr. Barely and Mr. Santos did not morally conduct this fundraiser by not reviewing policies and laws. And the school has raised money for a certain purpose and then found out it no longer can accept the funds. This leaves a negative connotation on the school district and does break trust with the community. The synthesis for this case study includes Mr. Barely, president of the Briardale Foundation and approved by the school principal, Mr. Santos, has been arrested for a misdemeanor and placed on probation due to violating laws and policies when conducting a fundraiser for Briardale Elementary that consisted of a cash for raffle event. The facts regarding this particular case study, the people in it were the principal, Mr. Santos, Briardale Foundation President, Mr. Barely, the school site curriculum committee, Foundation President at another school district, Mr. Morley, the tipster who tipped off to the sheriff as to what was going on with the fundraiser, the sheriff himself, and then members of the community. Briardale Elementary School is in the middle of a very diverse community. It is one of 6 elementary schools. There are also 2 middle schools and 1 high school within this school district. It does have a low transient percentage for teachers in the school district, meaning many of the teachers come back year after year, and so it has a good rapport for keeping the same staff members hired. For the program, there are about 600 students at Briardale Elementary School, and it's a K through 5th grade program. It serves as the town's community center for gatherings larger than 1,000 people, and the district focus is on basic skills and the educational instruction for those objectives. So could this conflict of situation or decision be damaging to stakeholders or the community? Yes, this situation could involve a court case that would cost the school district many dollars that would take away from other funds and activities. Also, this particular case study does take away these funds from the foundation in purchasing supplies and programs geared towards the school's basic skills and curriculum. This does affect Briardale Elementary School and its school district. It affects Mr. Barely and Mr. Santos, as well as the school staff and students and the community members. I do not feel that all stakeholders have been consulted. The principal did not go to the superintendent or Board of Education to discuss any of this, the foundation's idea for the cash for raffle and then the issue that had happened with it. Learning more about the situation, yes, knowing the laws and policies for the certain state that this case study was in regards to raffling within the school district, knowing how much money was raised for this particular fundraiser would be helpful. Knowing who is in charge of each foundation for the schools. So like who's in charge of the president of the foundation, who chooses that, how does that all come about? But I do still feel like there is enough information in regards to making a decision about what has happened in this case study. So we have three possible options here. The first one is to take no action. Mr. Barely is charged with his misdemeanor, and then life goes on as normal at Briardale Elementary School. Moving the foundation out of the school organization and affiliation and treating it more like a donation to the school instead. And then the third option is Mr. Santos and Mr. Barely apologize to the community, and the school creates a committee that assigns and votes on the president and oversees and accepts any and all fundraisers the president wants to do. So in a sense, they adopt a system of checks and balances. Looking at our options, taking no action, the school doesn't have to do anything at this point. It's already made public, but that's where it stops. The cons, it does go against any legal policies, and it could eventually lead to a court case and have even more restrictions going forward. For the second option, the school isn't responsible for any legal issues that could arise. The school still gets the money needed for the students and the staff. But the cons of this one is the school isn't morally able to trust the foundation and that they have the well-being of the students and staff at the forefront. For our third option, it would help to apply laws, policies, and regulations that are in accordance with the state. It would restore trust with the community in accepting a fault. A con of this is it is a public announcement, and there could be scrutiny for the incident ever happening, and just in general, the community not trusting and wanting to have it to do any more with fundraising for this particular school. Choosing the best option, for me, it was kind of a no-brainer. Number 3, definitely. And I would do this by presenting facts along with the pros and cons of all options and the ultimate best option for the students, the staff, and the community. I would make sure I talked with my superintendent and the Board of Education about this decision. After presenting all 3 options for solving the budget debacle and ultimately making it a team decision as to the best way to make it happen is how this was a creative option that I identified for this case study. Looking at implementing my plan and choosing my path for this, I would plan a meeting with the superintendent and Board of Education and explain the entire situation and how it was handled from start to finish. I would introduce the proposal with my 3 different options and the pros and cons, and then once the decision is made, I had originally said schedule a meeting with everyone present that needs to hear the apology, but I kind of put this into a now situation, and with COVID and everything going on, it would definitely be a possibility to go live on the school website and record that and just explain the situation to the community and what happened and accept fault for the situation. Before things, get totally out of hand. I would ensure to them that the school would make things right in the sense that we have all of this money that was, for the purchase of these tickets for this raffle, and then now that can't happen anymore. So I feel like refunding the money would definitely show the community members that I was willing to go above and beyond to try to make things right. So the tickets that were purchased, if whoever purchased them, if they would turn them back in, and then they would receive the refund for that. I know that that would take a lot of time and be probably a really big ordeal, but I feel like that would help get that trust back going between the school and the community. Any fundraisers moving forward would be approved by the committee. So this committee would have to be established within the school, and how that would be established would have to be something that we would have to talk about as well. But that kind of goes along with the checks and balances. So having a committee, whoever the president is, and the ideas that they have for fundraising have to be approved and voted on by that committee before even moving forward. And then just knowing that any and all fundraisers must meet the future well-being of each student and adult. Um, so the money is going towards those basic skills and curriculum. So keeping that in mind, moving forward and thinking about how much money is needed to be raised, how fast to raise it, and what to actually do to raise it will definitely help with that. Um, so making sure that everybody knows about this plan, like I said, I think thinking of it now, going live and having people tune in to that and then accepting, any questions or concerns afterwards, but then making sure that I recorded it and posted the recording so that any community members, whoever wanted to view it that wasn't able to listen to it live, would have that option. With Mr. Santos and Mr. Barely, I'm just making sure that they know not to make decisions like this without consulting the committee first. Moving forward, that would definitely be something that would have to happen as far as any future fundraising goes, because I know schools, with budget cuts and everything that have happened, need money coming from outside sources, and we don't want to cancel that or discontinue that. It has to be done right, it has to be done legally, and it needs to be done ethically. Um, so implementing this plan, hopefully, then that would happen. Thank you.